Great. Welcome back to day two of the tournament. We have Nubair with us commentating and myself, Connor Weatherly. So welcome, Nubair.
Thank you, Connor. Good morning,
Um, eh,
everyone. Yeah.
yeah, perfect. It looks like we're about 20 or so moves into round four today. So yeah, we can start looking at the games.
All right. Let's start with our top board. Smith Brand playing on 3 points against Tim, who's also on 3 points. So probably the guy who's going to win is going to take the lead. We will also see board two where we have one more guy with 3 points. But right now, let's see this game. Knight of three, starting with ready, keeping flexibility options. Knight f6, g3, d5. Bishop g2, knight c6, and suddenly black is aiming for e5. Maybe black is looking for some tactics or tactical game. He doesn't want to play something like Slav or Queen's Gambit setups. He's looking for the center control. Of course, the Grandmaster won't give that. d4, Bishop f5, castles, and
Yeah.
surely they go e6, but knight b4 here, attacking c2.
Yeah, this is little bit of it rhymes with his Jobava London that he likes to play pretty often. He really knows those structures and he's got all the lines memorized. So I think he's playing something where he feels a little bit more comfortable. The only difference is maybe the knight, the F knight is out, but otherwise very similar structure. And yeah, in this position, I don't even know if you care about the corner rook here. Yeah, I might even just ignore it because black is clearly behind in development, and if I can like take over the center, some of the lanes are a little questionable for white. But yeah, I am really liking the moves that you're pointing out with the arrows here. Knight a3 seems very principled. Knight a3 usually you end up going back to b1 and then back towards the center because knight c2 usually doesn't work in those structures. It's just not considered best according to the engine. But knight to e1 looks a little bit more appetizing to me.
Yeah, and this is the plan. The plan is basically you want to force white to kind of go knight a3. And as you said, yes, it's a reverse Jobava London system. In my opinion, like this line is getting more popularity in recent days or after pandemic, let's say after the Jobava London course was launched. And people even started playing this with black. And I have faced this multiple times to from my playing experience, what I can say is it's a good line, when you're playing it white, but playing it one tempo down is not so great idea because here there's also one interesting line c4, which was played by the grandmaster here, allowing knight c2, and there is some theory behind it. But even if we don't have c4, we can also play knight e1 and then kick the knight, and maybe we can get knight to the normal development or c4 knight c3. So it's not really recommended to play a tempo down, especially against a good player. But let's say if you're playing a club player or someone who's below 2000, still it's a good idea. But against a grandmaster, it can get punished. And c4 was played immediately because of course the grandmaster would be knowing the line. And now if knight c2, I think it loses on the spot. Maybe we have knight h4 here attacking the bishop, and the bishop needs to be saved. If you save the bishop, you lose the knight, and if you capture the rook, then eventually this knight is going to get trapped. So this is the
Right.
point. And c4 was played, then e6 defending it, and here also, like, he did not go for knight a3 or defending c2. He went c takes d5. This is like even more concrete and even not fearing knight c2. Knight c2 was played here. Engine doesn't like it. But even if you just play normally, I don't think it's a good position because every time this will be annoying. You can do these things, but again, you have to capture this at some point. Or if knight is not working, basically, it's not a good idea to go knight before. But still, white needs to remember the preparation or the lines, which I'm not sure how correctly he remembers things. He played d takes e6, which is not the best move here. Usually, they go knight e5. And the idea is if you take on a1, they want to give some queen f4 check. And the point behind is, okay, if c6, okay, we're just going to destroy black on both diagonals. And if he
And
goes
knight
knight d7
d7,
or something,
knight
we
d3.
can take, and probably
Okay.
there's a bishop b7 as well.
Okay.
Or maybe also this
I
line
would.
exists like played in the game.
Yeah, this does seem pretty scary for the black pieces, but I think black is just saying, if you don't have it, I'm up material, so show me the money. And I do think that white definitely has the edge, just because you are lacking in development here as black. You're getting stuck in the center, and there's just so much space, and you're not even up that much material. I think material is more or less equal. So I don't see how this one is working out.
Yeah, and as Smith was playing fast or a little bit, like he played c4 with confidence. He captured here. Yes, he did took some time to capture here because we had some alternatives like queen a4, knight e5, or knight h4 in multiple lines. So he took some time to calculate these lines, and he played d takes f6. And to his reply, Tim decided to recapture with the pawn. Of course, this makes his king weak, but black was left with not so many options. If you capture with the bishop, you lose knight, and if you take here, you line into queen a4 check. So he played a practical move, but still now, white needs to find out what's best for him. Like there's a knight e5, there's knight h4, and you really need to figure out which one is the best. And after
Yeah, and
long thinking, he
he
went for
shows
knight
knight
e5.
this looks very scary to me, because now particularly that b7 pawn is just gonna hang, and if that b7 pawn hangs, I think you're losing your rook back, and now the material
Yeah.
is equal, and you're just hurting positionally, and you're gonna be down 2 pawns. So I think this is just really good for white.
So currently, this is the live position,
Yeah,
and he has taken on b7 many times. Sometimes rook bait is, I think, completely lost. We have this check coming as well, and if you have to play king is, maybe we can also start with queen a4 check, and once he goes knight d7, maybe bishop c6, or knight d7, queen d7, bishop c6. So allowing queen a4 check or bishop c6 check is, I think, very, very dangerous. Probably now black must, or he needs to develop the bishop. Even move like this could go into something like this. And if you have to play king e7, better resign. So I think it's very important now that team plays or develops his bishop somehow, and tries to trade off the queens. This is hanging, so we have got lots of hanging pieces. I think the person who's going to calculate well is going to win this game. It's not about the engine saying +1 or +2 for white. It's about
right.
the person calculating well here.
Yeah, I think bishop d6 is kind of the line to go for. Bishop d6, and then, like you said, some queen to a4 is maybe a little scary, but yeah, and then you lose your castling rights, and this is very sad. Or maybe even knight to c. Yeah,
Maybe
knight
let's show
c6
it.
maybe. I don't know about knight c6 actually.
Yeah,
Maybe
as
not
I
knight
said, like the
c6.
question is, I think, highly complicated. Like if you see the material count right now, black is completely rook up. Okay, well, let's not count these 2 pawns for the moment, because we're talking about rooks and bishops and knights. So we're talking
Right.
about pieces here. So one piece is hanging, but then the bishop could be recaptured, and also the knight is hanging. So maybe you end up playing knight c3. You have to calculate this. You have knight c6 there. There's a queen e8. Then again, this is underpinned. For example, you just cannot play knight c3, and there's a rook b8 again. You cannot capture. Maybe you can capture because the queen is supported right now, but still, it will be counterattack, and knight is coming back. Sometimes there will be e4, sometimes there will be bishop g5. So I think it's lots of calculation needs to be done here, and that's why we are seeing players are taking roughly 10 minutes for every move. And did he play rook b8? No, he's
Um,
thinking, and
no,
he
he
playing
went
bishop.
bishop to d6. Yep. So he did play the bishop d6 line here. So now I wonder if knight c6 right away is good, but yeah, maybe not, because then it looks like you're getting out, because like knight c6, queen d7, and takes, and you castle, and then your knight gets out, and now maybe it's a little bit more equal.
Mhm. So maybe white has 3 candidate options here: a check, another check, and knight c6. Probably he needs to calculate all of them, compare them, evaluate them, and then make a decision. So I
Mhm.
think Smith is going to take some time here, at least 5 minutes. Probably he was thinking about this move from like last 10-15 minutes, because he is like playing this line, or maybe when he played 95, you need to decide. So he was quite sure
And
that, if he develops the bishop, I'm going to give check, I'm going to force him to go f8, and then we'll see to play knight c3 or to capture the rook or attack the queen.
right. Yeah, and he comes queen a4 here. It looks like that's his move of choice. So yeah, he was probably thinking on Jordan's time, and decided, you know what, this is probably best. And now we're probably going to see king to f8, because king to e7 runs into the knight c6 fork. So no point in calculating that. I expect we'll see the king f8 move pretty quickly.
Mhm.
And then yeah, what to do? King f8, knight c3. And then like the line we showed, we see a pin. And yeah, Jordan does play King F8. So it's definitely a sharp game. Do we want to take a look at the second board while some of these moves unfold?
Yeah, sure, because it's going to be anyone's game, and I'm pretty sure now Smith is going to take some time here. It's not an easy decision, even for a grandmaster. Let's
No,
go to
not at
board
all.
two. We have uh, National Master OK and Yusuf. Both are playing on 3 points, and wow, we have a result here.
Wait,
Uh,
this position looks equal. Why is that a result? I wonder if that's a DGT error.
let's see. We also have timings. So National Master OK is white here with 3 points, and Yusuf Khan is also on 3 points. Do you know the black player? I've seen him for the first time playing.
I've seen his name, but I don't know if I've ever met him.
Okay, let's see. So this is quite solid Catalan setup. If
Black
I
is
beat
playing
you.
this well as well.
Mhm.
So Black clearly knows what they're doing. They're quite a strong player, and yeah, okay likes this system as well.
But here, like especially this moves like a5 are played to counter b3. So let's say you play a5 and white plays b3, then the idea is basically to play a4. And I'm surprised black did not go for a4 on the next move, because
Perfect.
you want to put some pressure. Like if your opponent plays bishop b2 next move, you just want to harass the bishop or go knight e6 knight b4, and do a little uh, irritate basically white's pieces, this queen, and not allow white to do his plan freely. So usually here, I believe e4 is the right choice to break the center or to go away with, because
Right.
if you play 97 or something, maybe yes, b3 bishop b2. But if your opponent plays a5, I think b3 is not a great choice, because it's very likely that black will play a5, but we don't see that happening here. He goes bishop f5.
And then
Maybe he
yeah,
goes next
queen
move.
back. Yeah, I actually kind of like what Black is doing here. I think holding off and getting that extra tempo to stop the e4 pawn push is not a terrible
Yes, but
plan.
now he gets no time sometimes to play rook c1. But maybe his point was he's getting rook a2 and he's doing all good. So maybe he
Mhm.
found a tactical solution. Takes knight d2. This is not so great, but roughly equalish. You can go e4 here, but no e4. Why was not that? This move is c3 there. Maybe he was afraid of c5 or something at some point, and at c6 coming. So he says, okay, let's keep it simple.
Yeah, and I'm
Uh,
not sure what
not
Yusuf's
captured.
rating is, because Yusuf may be low enough rated where OK wants to keep complications in tension. Because I know that especially when, like, let's say I'm facing someone a little lower rated, I want to make it
Mhm.
as complicated as possible, so my opponent has to choose. I don't want to give my opponent an easy position if they're, let's say, a 1900, because they're going to start making some less optimal choices and I'll get some kind of edge. So it could be that OK is just banking on that, and I can actually, while we analyze, look up his rating on USCF.
It shows 2090. I have the pairings link, and Yusuf
Yeah, I
is
think
like
that's FIDE.
2090.
So I don't
Okay.
know how if that's like correct also. But
Mhm.
yeah, 2090. Okay, so fairly strong. So almost 2100. So yeah, then I'm a
Yeah.
little surprised. Bishop here. This is a cute tactical resource to make sure you don't lose
Maybe
stuff.
like this was more better, because somehow you keep pressure here with the queen.
I wonder if he was afraid of dropping the H pawn.
Yeah, probably he didn't
Sorry,
want
A
it to
pawn.
go any further, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm
maybe
I'm not
tactics were
sure if
not
it's
working.
that bad, but yeah, but you want to
But
be
maybe
extra
right, maybe
careful,
keep it
I
simple. Yeah,
suppose. Yeah, and now I'm starting to like White's chances
yeah,
here.
absolutely. Take stakes, and we have clear weaknesses to attack on. This is weak. This is weak. This might drop. Maybe
Yeah,
e45 someday. But still, black has b6, this rook e8, rook d8 stuff, and not that bad. But now with this move, it's clear that white is better. That was a good one.
yeah. I am definitely liking the White position here. And
This is
I can also say that there was no resignation. The 1-0 is incorrect, because when we stopped, Bishop C1 was the last move, and now we see two additional moves on the board. So I think they're
uh-huh.
still playing, just the DGT board thought at some point that someone said 1-0.
Okay, so DDT
So
board is not right, but maybe it's giving us the right result because we are going
yeah,
to have rook d1 and the pawns are quite weak. I don't see how black can really stop you for u5 coming in. Maybe he has
yeah,
to go to queen a7, rook
I'm not
d1, rook.
actually sure. I conceptually like white, but I don't actually see how white is better here because
Mm-hmm,
let's say I go, yeah, queen a7 for the sake of argument, just a move, um,
mm-hmm.
to shuffle back and forth because I don't see any better square. Like what do you do to gain any advantage as the white pieces? Because if you bring your rooks to the center, I can counter with mine. Um,
Yeah, and e4 is
or
not that easy. We have 95 counter at times. So, and there's a
in fact,
weakness, black hacking and weakness.
95 in
So,
this position, and I don't see any way you can have an edge because now the e4 push, it doesn't have really any venom.
right. And the tactics are currently working in black's favor. Like even if you do d1 to d8, you cannot really
Yeah,
capture and win something because the queen is hanging. And even if you try to do some back ranks, of course he's gonna capture with the rook, and it's not gonna work. So
yep,
tactics are not working, but he needs to find 95. Like it's not something like which you are happy playing because you're putting something into the pin.
yeah.
So
95 is the best way to kill all the pressure.
mhm.
Queen a7 definitely a lot more passive. And if I'm the white pieces, I want to see queen a7 because then I feel like I have a little bit more winning chances because black is pacifying their pieces.
Yeah, it's just also not so clear. Like you defend a4 pawn at some point, so you don't have to worry about queen c6, and you are still keeping an attack here. Like might be a3 rook d1 is possible, but then rook d8, and then again 95 is a bit annoying. Like where do you go with the queen? Like queen looks good here, but the queen is not stable. After rook d8, you need to move your queen somewhere, and queen f5 is a g6. Queen c6, threatens nothing. So white is better, but it's hard to prove.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or we can
Yeah,
say into the
I'm not so sure. What is white's plan? I know optically it looks very nice to push this e pawn, but I don't think you're ever gonna have time. So
maybe just double on the b file and keep the knight tied down. Try to go queen c6 at some point, and somehow get e4 e5 trade pieces, do that pawn, take that b6, and attack those loose pawns somehow.
yeah. Yeah, that may be just a practical chance. Yeah,
Yeah,
if
strategic
I had
pawn.
to evaluate this one, I'd say white has a slight edge, but I don't think
Yeah,
white is
absolutely.
bleeding. Yeah,
Okay.
very tricky.
And he move on board one. So he played knight c3. Shall we just go to the next board? Board 3.
Yeah, we can take a look. It looks like a
Mhm.
DGT error.
No, this
I
is the board.
find it hard to believe that they've made it to move two.
No, I just entered the wrong board. The third board is
Okay,
between
okay.
Timothy and Josiah. Both of them are on 2.5 points. And let's see. So it was the gambit in Sicilian with d4,
Yeah,
second move.
this is a
h3
favorite
d5.
of Tim. He's played this
Uh-huh.
one against me before I knew the lines, and ever since he played it against me, now I know all these lines so that I won't ever be tricked by it again. And yeah, Josiah seems to know all the theory. This is all a computer book move by the
Uh-huh.
black pieces. So playing it very well. And then after you castle, I think black is actually supposed to be for choice in this position, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Tim is
Definitely,
being
but
very tricky though.
yeah, he's up a pawn. Only 13 needs to defend is okay. He can also do g6 at some point, or maybe trade some pieces and just go g6, and it'll be all right.
Yeah,
Uh,
whenever I see this type of stuff, I'm always suspicious of, yeah, why don't I just go like your move, knight to d5 and then just go like g6 or maybe even f5 and say
yeah,
you've got nothing. It's just
absolutely.
always suspicious.
This line is not good. Like this is, this is.
No,
Sure. If I found someone playing this gambit, I tell them, better is this gambit. At least play the Smith Mora. At least it makes some sense. You're
right.
developing a knight, you got center control and something. In this, you're claiming that you got center control, but actually black is just countering with third move d5, and what you are. Maybe black's only bet is if they capture or something, then maybe white gets something. But if black knows 3 d5, the gambit is over. Makes
Yeah,
no
and
sense.
Black looks like they're booked up on this. They're playing all the lines that I've looked at with the engine. So there's no advantage to be had in this particular opening.
Yeah, advantage is
If
one thing,
Black is
but
booked
let's say
up.
engine keeps saying, let's say equal plus or equal for like 10, 15 moves. And after that, white is just down a pawn. So practically you're down a pawn because you cannot
Yeah,
anything improve it. If you prove the
I
advantage, you
think
are basically lost.
even after b4, I think it says half a pawn advantage for Black, just
Yeah.
instantly right out of move 2. I don't think it ever sees an advantage.
It doesn't
But I
say
think
in this,
Tim is
it's like
Tim is
equal.
banking on not knowing the position knight takes, yeah. On the opponent not knowing this opening.
Yeah.
And Tim has always played like this. He's always liked his aggressive gambity chess where he gives up a pawn and then,
Mhm.
sack mate. So that's very in Tim's style. But when you're playing such strong opponents who know book moves, it's not quite as effective. It's definitely more for amateur level play than for master level play.
Maybe it's a good gambit to play in a like the weekly tournament, which we have, the Thursday night tour. But for Roger Hell, I think we need better repertoire
Yeah,
because you're
when
playing on
it's
both
Thursday
2
nighter,
and a
it's
half.
more for fun.
Yeah.
If it's a big one, you probably want to play your serious openings. Although to be fair, Tim really does know this opening well. He's studied a
Yeah.
lot, so even though it's maybe not a top tier opening, not one of the best openings, he does know it through and through. And this might be something he's most comfortable with, because if he's playing something he's not familiar with, he might get in some trouble.
Absolutely. He has still got some plans. He has some ideas. Maybe he wants to sacrifice somewhere and create something. But looking at the clock, looks like um, Josie has won the battle of the opening. Looking at time and the position, but still with this last move, okay, he has something to play for. So let's go to the third board where we have Johnson Leonard playing against John Blomer.
Oh wow, Black looks very good here. What happened?
Yeah, he's exchange up. Let's see. It was
And John also is way up on the clock.
yeah.
So John may be taking down Leonard here.
Yeah, he always plays fast, right?
Yeah. I hope he keeps his nerves and slows down, because yeah, Black is playing almost instantly here, and I think this is also a known line, if
Yeah,
I'm
he
not
just maybe
mistaken.
calls him in prep and everything looks good. Maybe even e5 is possible here. Just sacrificing a pawn, you give this. You got to key it next. But okay, he just played knight
Yeah,
c6, a4 line,
very
because anyway
solid.
you're going to get e5. You take d4, and then anyway it's bad. And most probably white will castle either sides, and anyway you get e5 or knight b4. So
Yeah.
white is just busted out of the opening.
Yeah, and this is
So
a surprise. I would have expected White to maybe slow down and take their time before this happens, but maybe he just mixed up his opening lines. That's happened to me before, where I think, oh yeah, no, I've played this before, and then I realized they move ordered me somewhere and found myself in a worse position.
it's absolutely. This is this level of preparation you need to play in Roger Hall. So John is saying that I have come here prepared. I know what I'm doing. I have got the center control even with the black pieces, and he has taken advantage of the opening order mistakes um, played by Johnson. Knight d7, knight c5, not even giving any kind of a b4. Very good understanding so far.
Yes.
Kicking out the bishop.
Yeah, and he's
Saving.
just kind of steamrolling the center. There's not a lot to do here. And
White is
John
trying to
is,
survive by one move threats, but very soon the pawns will be defended and pushed as well.
yeah, exactly. And John, I think, does a very nice slow move, queen f6, while also being aggressive, maybe lining something up towards the king.
Maybe he just wants to bring all his pieces towards the king side and say boom.
Yeah. No, this honestly feels like it's almost a full piece advantage for
And
Black. It's
now
really
White's
ugly.
last hope is to get b4 going, but it's
Well,
White's
yeah,
move and
even if
Black's
you get b4, I don't know if that's any good, is it?
no, like it's last hope. Yeah, you just hope that
Yeah.
at least you have some pawns going. You see those pawns coming so forward, and you cannot go anywhere.
Yeah.
Like now, White has reached that position where he cannot move his pieces. Like you see his last move, he's just moving queen one square here, there. It's like playing like this. and suddenly he found something, and that's his final hope. He pushes b4 and
Yeah.
b6, and the bishop will be lost, and we will have more weaknesses.
Yeah. No, this
Like
looks
queen to
dire.
here, even this is, I mean, of course, bishop c6 is there crushing already, but even queen to 6 and the pawn will be gone, or the second bishop will be gone, then, all these
Yeah.
people will be killing the king.
Yeah.
Brave,
What a nice move.
b6,
Force.
yeah, not rushing with capture. He's kind of forcing the capture.
Yeah.
He plays c5, maybe frustrated a bit, because even after this, the problem is not solved. Like, we're getting all those problems. You push knight d5, knight f4, it's just disaster. So he goes for
Yeah.
that b6 knight instead. Anyway, e4.
Yeah. And he has to give up material here. This is not working. You're just down a full piece.
And he's trying to, have this bishop and get some compensation in return. And maybe
Yeah.
not that bad idea comparing from the practical point of view. But black has queen b3, which I think is going to create more problems, as once the queens are traded, the counterplay is not going to matter much.
Yeah, now it becomes a game of who gets their pawn queen fastest. And if we're playing this game, I'm thinking black's a winner because
So yeah,
it's quite scary.
maybe he thought he can generate some play with queen c1, queen d2, but the problem is these are four, and the queen is not going anywhere. Also, we have got background problems. You cannot really go queen g7 because you can take on d1, and also you can take on d4. So even black does not need to play this, like, and no queen e5, nothing, like everything hangs. So white has
Yeah.
no option but to capture on b3 and try rook d4.
Yeah, and John is playing this really nicely. There's not really many options. Rook d7, yeah, we'll see rook to f7. In fact, that is what happened in the game. And then
Yeah.
rook back to d2 because you can't trade. This is just you're down in exchange. You're doing as much as you can to play, but yeah, rook c8 I think is nice to offer the trade. I like this move. And it's played. And then we see king to f1, and then yeah, f4, knight e2, and yeah, e3 is just brutal. It's yeah, black is crashing through. I would actually say this is in resigned territory. I don't see any way to survive.
Even, I mean, there are a million ways to win. You can play bishop a6, rook c2, but even this is a nice combination. You can just take on
Yeah.
g2, force to capture f3, king f1 is fourth, otherwise you lose this. And even if you take here, you lose the bishop.
Yep. And that's
So
exactly what I was looking at. This is, I think, resigned territory. You're down a full rook against a very strong player. So I would not be surprised if we saw that exact line play out, because I think John sees it, which is why he's pushed the pawn so he can sack, and we'll see, maybe win the piece.
yeah, everything. I mean, f3, and if you don't want to give anything, you can even just take, and there's just no defense. Like, hey, everything's gonna fall.
Yeah. No, this is a really spectacular attack done by the black pieces just right out of the opening. It looks like John knew his stuff and his opponent wasn't prepared.
Absolutely, very well prepared and played game by John Blummer. Tomorrow he might be playing on board 1 or 2, depending upon the
Yeah.
results on top boards. He'll be moving to 3.5 out of 4, and that is a good position to play the final round. If you get a leader of the tournament, if you beat him, you can be a champion. If you draw him, maybe you can be in top 3. So I think after winning this, he'll be in good position. Also with white pieces, probably to play for all 3 results.
Yeah, and yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if John ends up playing well. He's been improving fairly quickly, and if he slows down, especially if he's facing somebody a little bit stronger, I think he'll find even stronger moves. I know he's got a philosophy of play fast because I'm not going to find a better move, but I think he'll find a better move if he slows down, especially if he ends up facing the Grandmaster in the final round.
We have a few more boards with players on 2 points. Let's just have a look at game between Shemash and Irene Frey, who's a candidate master.
Yeah. UV is a very solid player, especially with the white pieces. So I don't expect any fireworks in the opening.
Yeah, he plays a
Unless
very
UV
solid
is
line. CD5
yes.
exchange duration of Slav. There's like no tactics, no gambles. Straightforward equality for both sides.
Yeah, and he knows the structure very well. And it looks like Irene also knows it and wants some imbalance because I
Will
don't
they play
usually
like this?
see,
It's a check, yeah.
yeah, I don't usually see this line. This seems very balanced.
Yeah.
Yeah, knight a5. And yeah,
And
really
usually a
no
check, you play
advantage.
c4 and get rid of this backward pawn, or you play rook c1, c4. You don't really want to play a4 until b5 comes, because then it becomes easier to get those pawns. So
Mhm.
better is you play c4, but maybe he had some tricks with knight d5 coming in, which are annoying. So maybe that's why a4 was played first, because if b5 knight c4 comes, that could be a problem.
Right.
So a4, and he attacks this c4
Yeah,
because now knight
Irene
d4 is
is
possible.
Irene is playing this nicely as the black piece, is asking a lot of questions to white. Yeah, and f6, knight d7. Oh, knight d7 is a very cute move. Just
I'm not sure. Like
holding everything.
take, and what's the trap or tactic? Like you take, and then dc4. Then what's happening?
Um, I assume that I would go f3 and then I would maybe take over the center. Yeah.
Yeah, just f3, e4. Yeah, something like this. Maybe
Yeah.
possible, and maybe he chose this move by method of elimination, because you go back, you do c4, you go back, you still do c4. So instead of losing c4, it's better to
And in
get some
fact, the
activity
line I was
going.
saying, it looks like is playing out on the board right now,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
Irene
Maybe
has
h6 is
snagged the
more or less
pawn.
forced, because you don't really want to play this and get those isolated pawns
Yeah.
against two bishops. Knight b6 is also coming. The knight is going, so it's more or less forced for both the sides. You say it by method of elimination or by calculation, but that's what is going to happen after knight d6 e4 or
Yeah.
g4
I
sometimes.
think we'll see a strike at the center. Um, Otherwise, yeah, we can't allow the bishop to come in and support. Otherwise, we'll probably just be lost. So after the push, we'll probably say something like bishop to g7.
And
And
probably these people will go here and some
yeah.
threats.
Another move that I just noticed, we can actually fork with queen to b4 and then hold off on the e push. That might be more interesting.
Maybe
Because where
for
does
rook
the knight
d8,
go?
if you want to
No,
take e5.
go back. Go back. Two moves. Before the push, we go b4. That way our e pawn is never unstable.
Sorry, where
So in this
exactly?
position, so after takes the knight, pawn takes, f3, knight back, maybe queen to b4 in this position. Because if the knight moves, then the pawn falls, and then we're probably at equality.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
and
rook
if the
d8
rook,
then.
yeah, if the rook comes to the center, we can probably take and then take the b pawn. Is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's possible, but maybe it's possible. But I would prefer keeping two bishops than going for this, because there's a e5, there's a a5, and I mean, if you want to make a draw with white, yes, maybe we can play this. But if you want
UV,
to
I
win
think, is
with
very
white,
happy with the draw. UV actually chose another move. He chose to swing his rook over, which also makes really good sense.
but
Because his
it
threat
allows
now,
bishop d3. I don't like
yeah,
this.
bishop b3, bishop b3, cd3, rook probably to d1, and then I guess it's equal.
Yeah, you get the point, but I think white can play for more. Like you get e4, like it's very simple. Bishop goes back, and if you want to get the pawn, it's not a big deal. You can play rook c1, rook b1, rook b4, or rook b6, or queen anywhere, basically. And whenever you feel like you're down a pawn, you can take on d6, and this pawn is yours,
Yeah.
right?
I
So you
agree.
can
UV is
time
very
every
risk
day.
averse, though. He does not like taking any risk in a position if he doesn't have to. So this is very much his style. Just let's kill the game so I can't lose. And if you make a mistake, then I'll win. And if you don't, then it's a draw. I've had multiple games with Uvi with exactly this situation where it was slightly better, but there really wasn't a lot I could do. So it ended up
Mhm.
petering out into a draw. And I think that's what he wants, because especially against Irene, I think Irene is somewhere around 2300 and Uvi is somewhere below 2100.
Awesome. Yeah,
So
2007.
yeah, so it's a fairly large gap, and so he's going to gain points with anything but a loss. So I think he's okay with a draw.
All right, all right. We'll see how he approaches this game further. Um, but I would like to recheck the game between Smith Brand and Tim Jordan, the top boy battle between the Grandmaster and an aggressive player, where Tim is still thinking, like, after knight c3, he don't know to play knight c2, bishop c2, prevent e4, defend rook, or do what, because knight c6 is also there. And it's complicated. Like he has lots of options to decide, even queen e8 to be precise.
Yeah, this is really complicated.
Now the times are even 35, 36 minutes each.
Yeah, I don't see any reason to move the rook in the
Mhm.
Jordan game. So I think he's just trying to figure out where to put his pieces. Yeah, and it
Queen
looks like he found the line just to trade everything, and this may be a
draw.
draw.
Yeah, it's a Rukan game, so likely to be draw, but still, the experience of National Master OK is going to matter here. There are some weak pawns. He needs to play Rook e6 here, otherwise, it's going to be easy. Also, there's Rook d7 coming in. So there's some pressure. So black has two options to go for a counterplay or to defend.
Yeah, no, it's definitely still a tricky position if you're not super comfortable with these types of end games. But I think Rook d6 is a very passive move. Yeah, I was gonna say playing something a little more active, I think is a better chance. Like Rook to e4 is probably what I'd
Yeah,
play
black
in this
can do
position
something
to go
like
for the
this.
pawn.
He has got pawn f4, so he needs to try for some counter. Because if he plays Rook e6 or something, it's gonna
Yeah,
damage you in long run because the rooks are gonna enter, and if you're not giving any threat, you're not going to win or gonna struggle for whole life, like the whole game here. So
yeah,
in my opinion, going for active draw is better plan here. If you can force your opponent this, okay, then you can make this move and make a draw, or even you can try something more interesting with rook d8, rook d2, depends what you're playing for, a win or a draw. But rook e6 is definitely not the way to go against OK.
yeah. No, I think being active is the way to keep this interesting.
Mhm. So all the boats, so first four boats are not moving, they're thinking. And okay, we have some update on John's game. After e3, his opponent went rook d3. I'm surprised he's walking into bishop a6. Like, this is just win for me, like on the spot. Like, you go bishop a6, he takes, and rook c2. And how do you
Right.
defend this? Oh, there's a
I
b5.
mean, even after this, I actually like John's move a little bit better, Bishop G2, because it really just forces the issue, and there's not
Yeah, yeah.
a lot to do.
Wait a sec.
Oh
So
wow,
if you
yeah,
can,
that's
this is a
a
rook e3.
nice move. That's a nice
Mm-hmm.
move. Wow, what a find by John.
Yeah, and the point was like he was trying to bank on rook c2, rook e8, and some background threats. And if this, maybe take, try b7, try your luck. Both sides are queening, and the king is weak, so it could work out. So John says, "Okay, I've seen this rook e8 exclamation mark, and now his plan is very simple. How do you defend this? If you move your knight, I'm still gonna play e2, and I'm gonna queen. And if you lose your bishop in the process, then b2 is gonna come. So
Yeah,
maybe knight c3, b2, bishop, knight c1. It's not gonna work. We have got b2
no,
there.
because you push. Yeah,
Yeah, it's just gone. Maybe he's gonna do this, and then we have a check. So
yeah.
resignable,
I
I
think
believe.
this is just too much. Yeah, because if you play your bishop back to defend, maybe show it for the viewers. Yeah, the other pawn just runs, and there's no square to defend because now the bishop is blocking. Otherwise, you'd go rook to b3, get behind the pawn and stop it, and you're happy. But your bishop is now on c3, blocking everything, so your pieces just don't coordinate, and there's no way to stop a queen. So I mean, this is probably resignable. Like the eval is probably +2 or maybe even 3 pieces in black's favor, just because there is no way to stop a queen from appearing on the board, and the material is more or less balanced. So +1 queen for black. I'm liking their chances of winning this.
Yeah, resignable is I think the better valuation.
Yeah, the eval may be like M15, right? Mate in 15. Who
But
knows?
yeah, definitely.
But yeah, this is not looking so promising. And yeah,
Look,
it
can we
looks
have
like
bishop b3?
yeah, and
That's why
I
e2
think we're
was
gonna
important.
see a trade here, and then like a rook d1, and maybe not a rook d1. Maybe we go
d2.
queen back, but who
Some
knows?
tricks for black. I don't like it for white.
No, I wouldn't have chosen this myself either, but I also think this is very UV style because how can white lose this with accurate defense? I don't think it's losable, and that's kind of what Ubi likes because he is really good at finding those only moves when it feels a little bit hopeless.
I don't know much about Yui, but the way he's playing, And the way Iron is playing, I think it's going in Black's favor, looking at the way the game going. But the players well, so maybe. But right, I mean, if someone allows Bishop D3, it shows very poor understanding of chess. Like, how can you allow Bishop D3 when you have got two bishops? Like, you win a pawn or you
Yep.
lose a pawn, but you don't trade bishops, right? And
Yep.
and you don't really want to play Bishop D1 here. So allowing this is like a big positional concession, huge.
Yeah, I'm kind of in agreement with you here. I would not have allowed this myself, but I'm also usually trying to play for a win, and I don't think Uvi has that on his mind in this position.
Maybe he's just hoping that take, just retreat with the queen, get that pawn. But still, there's rook c1, and this pawn is gonna drop. Okay, this knight is hanging at the moment. But I don't know. I somehow feel there should be something for black, even if you go like this.
Yeah.
What
And
exactly?
it looks
But
like on the last game, John versus Leonard, we see resignation. So congrats, John, on beating the FIDE master. Very strong opponent,
impressive.
taken down, and he made it look effortless. He knew his opening and just kept that advantage throughout the entire game. So very nice game. Very, very nice game.
Yeah, very clean, very systematic, and I would say game of the for sure this round 4, but if not game of the day.
Yeah, very well could be game of the day. It is the first round of the day, so maybe there's some more spectacular chess to be played. But this is definitely one of the best games I've seen. Just the way you stayed active, you took over the game and just pushed it through. It made it look like you were facing somebody who was maybe, not a master. Just how effortless that one looked.
Yeah, if there's a prize for game of the tournament, I would like to nominate this one. This definitely needs to be considered. And we'll see. Also, I mean, the top board battle is very interesting. Like the way Smith is playing against Jordan. Whoever wins this is also maybe probably eligible because they are putting fireworks. So we saw knight c2 coming in. Then we saw e4. So we have got threats. We already have 3 pieces clearly hanging. Some more captures, and black gives another threat. So maybe if we will see rook d1 and the knight is trapped, the rook b8 knight c6 is not something which black wants. So very soon this is going to simplify. But right now the question is he going to play rook d1?
Yeah, rook d1 I think feels very solid.
Yeah, this knight is super.
Yeah.
It depends a4 as well as d1.
Yeah, it's a very good knight. I wonder if Jordan's plan is just to sack on the d file with the knight, and say at least I've got a pawn and destabilize you a little bit.
Well, rook d4, and it's still under
No,
pin.
it
So
looks bad. It looks
yeah,
bad. But I think black's position looks pretty bad. I wonder if
maybe
you just do a
got-
Hail Mary and try and just run your H pawn to try and checkmate, but that's not even gonna work.
I was wondering if somehow we could have got knight d4, queen d4, bishop e5, queen e5 position. And okay, here white is an exchange up, and if black gets rook b8, maybe black is fine. But the problem here is the queen would be hanging even if we take with the queen, and if we take with the rook, it's not possible to take the knight. So the problem is if you cannot take the knight is going to come, which means you're going to lose another exchange. If you capture back, or if you capture the queen, then you are down a piece. So the whole problem is the bishop remaining hanging. The whole theme of this line is the same. That's why I said, like, when you're playing reverse Jubava London, it's not a good idea because every time this bishop is hanging with this or something here or there, something is coming. But when you are tempo up, the bishop is not hanging, and that changes the whole dynamics of the position or the evaluation of the position, and makes it interesting for the player who's playing the Jubava London. But the tempo down, I think, is it's not sharp for black.
Oh, it's still complicated because I like rook d1 for white, but rook d1 might have some fatal flaw that the engine sees. It's just, I think that's the type of position Jordan wants, where it's very easy to blunder. Because if I had to guess, the engine is gonna give like a +4 advantage white, just because I literally think you're trapped as black. You don't have any moves, and you're going to lose back all your material. But at the same time, if I make one wrong move, it might go to -4. And that's, I think, what Jordan is banking on.
Yeah, but to play this against a grandmaster, I would still not do this. Maybe against a candidate master, maybe okay, it's okay. Or maybe against someone who's old, maybe I'll take the chance. But I think Smith Ryan is a seasoned GM. He plays. He's not an inactive player or something. So I think doing this against him is kind of a suicide. But uh, let's see. If he wants to take the chance, okay, he's taking the chance. But with bit, I mean, not really to be honest. Okay, maybe we can have a look at board 5. They are also on 2 points. We have got Arvind with black pieces here and Soto Paulo with white. Wait a
Looks
second.
like black is completely won.
Winning. Yeah, it's winning. Yeah.
Yeah, completely
Let's see how
winning.
we
There's
that one.
no way to stop.
So it was
And
Sicilian.
Arvind is definitely an opening expert. He's been really studying his openings and I think he's trying to push for 2200. He recently hit 2100 and he's been on a pretty upward trend with his rating. So let's see how this one goes. So this is actually a system that I play. Yeah, and after knight f6, bishop d3 is the wrong move. So white already doesn't quite know what they're doing. The move is supposed to be bishop to e2 in this position. And then the point is after knight to c3, you go d4, and white has full compensation for whatever pawns are taken. And in fact, snagging the pawn gives almost a almost +2 advantage for white.
It's winning a piece.
So it's yep.
The whole trap. But okay. Bishop d3 was split, so let's talk about this. It's an interesting line, definitely.
I've played this line before. It's always a little bit more comfortable for black, so I'm surprised it was chosen. Yeah, and you have to go d4 at some point, otherwise you're just worse. And in this position, I believe you're supposed to trade again, and it's not.
The good thing white did here is prepare h3, so there's no bishop g4 to be worried about. And but he's not pushing the pawn. Maybe he doesn't want to lose the bishop.
No, he's supposed to trade the pawn, if I remember, and just
it's
I
better
didn't
to
like
trade
these lines.
Definitely, but with h3, maybe he didn't feel comfortable. Maybe he thought like this, and like it's equal-ish already, so not a big difference. Whatever
Definitely
you do.
a success for the black pieces.
Wait a second. Did he just blunder the pawn here? Or
yeah, I think he's snagging the pawn. I'm seeing the same thing.
Yeah, that's all. You just got a free pawn, free b, and now it's been take develop pieces. GG's.
Yeah, and it looks like we already saw Arvind just won this match. You can see the result just came in. So let's see how the game ended. I mean, Arvind is now up 2 pawns. This is a complete disaster for the white pieces.
Bring back those bishops and push 1 pawn.
I'm not sure what Arvind's opponent's rating is, but this is not.
He's around 2000.
Not how you do it. That's a little bit surprising, just because the understanding that I'm seeing didn't quite feel 2000. But maybe it's because you miss one tactic and then what do? You're losing, right? So I think Arvind just showed some expertise.
For a long time, this tactic was not working. Takes, and you have queen, or the discoveries you just move the queen, and there is no problem on the diagonal. So then rook e8, and the tactics is now working because the rook would be defending the knight, and if you do something like this, the knight just go back and defends the rook. So he was just not alert. He could have captured or pushed. Maybe capture would have given him easy quality. Takes, and just exchange queens.
Develop your knight.
G5 or just play normal. Still there's knight b4, which is a bit annoying, but maybe you can play. I don't like it honestly, but
no, after knight b4 you go bishop b, and it's considered, I think, equal. I've seen these lines as white because I used to play it.
White can equalize for sure somehow.
This is the exact line, which is why I don't play the bishop d3. It's not considered critical. But yeah, it's not fun. So I think Arvind just had a very easy win because it looks like he knew the plans and executed them well.
So Arvind moves to 3 points. Let's go to board number 7, where we have Michael Perry playing Rishabh Jain. We don't have update. We have update. Oh, sorry. This is the live position right now where Michael is white and Rishabh is
Rishabh looks like got some pull somehow. I've never liked this exchange line, playing the white pieces, just because I feel like there's not a ton of winning chances that I ever am able to muster up.
I mean, of course, you need to go knight b5 and play the main lines of Pelican. And if you play knight c6, okay, I mean, it's already a concession.
Yeah.
The question is black gonna take this and allow queen g4?
Yeah, I think the takes line is pretty good, and then instead of taking the pawn, just castle. Yeah.
Yeah, even sometimes d5 is possible. You take bishop b5, bishop d7 also gives you a good position, but maybe he does not want to do something like rook e1 to come in, or queen e2, putting some threats. So he just said, okay, let's castle first. This allows bishop g5, which is not so good in general to allow. Maybe h6 is also a good option here, but maybe f4 or queen d6. He was not happy, or bishop a3 is annoying. He went castle, and I would still put my bishop here. But okay, if you can block it, that is also a good idea. Wait a sec, he's not blocking it. Why is that?
I think the e pawn is hanging, and then it hits the knight.
Okay, yeah. And we don't have this tactic. Usually we have queen d5, but here there's a pawn. All thanks to knight c6. And if queen f3, we have knight f6. So he's not defending it. He went queen e2, maybe queen f3, but then maybe d5 and rook d1 is not enough. We take here. And rook d8 takes, rook e8, knight e8.
Not
rook
quite
c1
working.
is possible. I still like it for white. I don't know why, but maybe I missed queen. Yeah, but the problem is after d5, rook d1, this is bishop g4, so it makes it unplayable. But if you capture, okay, it's good for white, but bishop g4 is coming, so it eliminates it instantly. Like, so takes, and put some attack, and bishop d7, some kind of a c4 stuff, but bishop d3, not really good. If you have bishop here, then yeah, bishop d3 is interesting, but without this bishop, look, now he again goes here. He simply wastes a move here, like, and now even black is not even interested in trading it.
Yeah, this has gone sideways for the white pieces.
Okay,
after a6. Yeah, a6, cd, knight d.
He allows cd5. I mean, maybe I thought it's easier to play d4, just go bishop b7 and have fun.
Yeah, I feel like he missed that taking was an option. That happens at this level.
But I think Rishabh is 2100 or something. I just read it's 2100. And how can he? Yeah. At least I can see.
I thought he was closer to 2000. Okay, 2100 though.
2110 is like little high for someone who's not playing d4 here. And missing like silly tactic. Maybe he has some point. Let's see. So knight d5, bishop c4. Maybe he is aiming for some knight f4. And maybe something here. So maybe he has calculated something.
Okay, like and he sacks. So maybe the point is, maybe the point is just getting this kind of play. And now knight f4. Okay.
I mean, what? Is he getting piece? Queen e3 is there. Queen e2 or queen e3. So g6, and it's not looking good. The bishop is coming here next move. It's terrible. Trust me.
Yeah,
I mean, this is more easier. But okay, even this, who cares about it? You have bishop g4, bishop f3 coming in.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of the plan.
I was just a bit worried about this more, bishop g4, bishop d6. But, probably it's a beautiful checkmate with the queen sacrifice. GG's.
Yeah, very nice.
But wait, there's a queen f4 here. Okay, we can just play queen c4 and, keep it simple.
Yeah, and this looks pretty strong.
Yeah, just came over. So he goes bishop g4, bishop f1. Wait, can we just do some brilliant checkmate here? Or
I think that's what he actually does. Yeah, we see this takes king g1, bishop f3,
and he's aiming for this.
We're just
okay, maybe it's gonna work because c4 check as well.
Yeah, we're kind of crashing through his black.
I was just wondering, like, I know it's winning, but I was just wondering if he does something like this. You go here, you go here, you go a check, you go here, and then how exactly do you checkmate? Bishop g2, I think there's a queen e2. And queen c3, I have queen d2 again back.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you have to work out some knight g1, knight f3 business. Like it's little funny, bishop d6, where I was. Knight f3 check, king f1, you go queen c4, king here. And now we need to get these two moves, like bishop g2 and knight g1. So bishop g2 we can play, for which he can reply with queen e2.
Right.
And
If
after
you want
queen
to play
c3,
this out on the board for the viewers, I agree, but I'm also still not seeing how you crash through.
yeah, exactly. So let's
It,
make
it
them make
looks
moves.
looks scary.
I'm not sure, like the bishop d6 or queen d6 or queen d7, because and the rook is hanging. Like, we can always convert by taking the rook. But again, that's why I was doubtful to sacrifice the rook or not, like completely here. Also, we have knight g2 and some kind of a knight e3 business.
Mm-hmm.
But as long as the queen is not coming, it's not going to be a checkmate. So we need to bring the queen. And it's not easily possible because there's a knight is hanging and there's a back rank issue. So finishing part was not done properly. He goes queen d7, which also prevents knight h3 check. Apart from that,
Mm-hmm.
this is no longer hanging because the queen hangs, and you cannot take here because there's a queen d8. So
Yeah,
white is
no, this is complicated.
yeah, queen f5, queen g5. Maybe something like this is okay, not really. So how do we prevent queen g5? We play bishop e7. They take.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's still some moves, some more. It's a game. He plays h6.
I actually really like h6. It just
what about f6?
F6 I think is more forcing, but
How do you prevent
h6 I also really like. It's just no nonsense.
Yeah, true. But I mean, h4 is terrible. But okay,
Yeah.
it opens diagonals. But okay, right now I think life is good. But okay, Rishabh says, okay, let's keep it simple. And this is what he was doing for so long. Otherwise, the game would have ended by now. He's always trying to keep it simple. When it gets complicated, and Braid is still surviving on somehow, like on the edge.
Yeah.
And
maybe we see the rook move out of danger now and try and make something happen. Yeah, I'm liking like d2 maybe.
Still play f6, like you go rook d6 or something. And still, how do you prevent this? Like, there are some checks coming in, and the rook is yet to join the party. Imagine this guy, that's what will happen. So we'll leave it to Perry to decide how to defend this. And check out the last remaining DGT board between Alan Zhu and Vivian Young on board number 8, who are also on 2 points each.
Complicated. I do optically like black here.
White black is a pawn up and the bishop is not open, so things are good for black. d5 is coming as well, and that's why white is thinking what to do next.
Now that I'm looking at this, yeah, we can look at the top board. I think they've made 1 or 2 moves on the top board. So not too many. But yeah, I mean, white just looked completely winning.
So now h3 rook d1. Oh, he didn't go rook d1. And because he found some
okay, actually knight c6 is quite nice. Because it just locks up all the pieces, and now you can take the knight.
But why do you give the bishop? Like, why do you give the rook for no reason?
Well, because where can black legally move with that? That's...
I mean, black can still take the rook. I don't want to give my rook. I know
everything
is bad. Black, e5 is coming, but still, like, anyway, all these things were coming. Like, he cannot prevent knight c6. He cannot really take. He cannot really take. So, like, if I'm black, I'll be more worried what to do after rook d1. Like, we don't have a move here. So let's say rook b8, which is his last hope, knight c6, and let's say he tries to trade queens off somehow. So knight b8, queen a4, knight a4, and what's the material count? Equal, and e5 is coming next move. Also, I'm not sure about this knight. Like, we have a3 coming in, and the knight is also trapped. And e5 we have takes, and we have rook d8 as well. So I'm a little surprised by his choice, but maybe if he calculated well, like he's winning in knight c6, he can go for it, of course. Takes, and okay, he just says, okay, let's keep it simple, but he put this still down in exchange. with, I mean, enough compensation,
Um,
of course, but
yeah,
still, like,
I actually really like how White handled this one though, because yeah, I guess you're technically down an exchange. I don't think that matters even a little bit here, because I literally can't find a single legal move other than h6 or g6 or h5 or something like that that black can make.
can't I move my knight or something, like, just to prevent this, or maybe knight g4, for instance.
Knight g4, I'll
Still
probably
queen
just
h5
push you
coming
back.
in. This is
Yeah, I
giving
mean
some
knight
counter.
g4, I'll go h3 and I'm winning the piece.
Yeah, I'll try queen h5, giving some checks.
Queen h5, I just fork, right?
Yeah, knight g4 h3, and I just like give you the knight.
Yeah, I'll eat the knight, and then what do you play?
And
And then I'll
it is
move, and
not so
now
good.
where are your checks?
Which was completely dead. I have h5 coming in. I mean, I know it's technically lost, but at least I have saved my pieces. And now this looks stupid. Like, okay, they blocked my rook, but my rook is near the king, and you still need to figure out how you're going to win. Probably it's
Yeah,
easy
I'll
for a grandmaster
push.
to get the job done, but still, it's like giving counterplay, unnecessarily giving counterplay. This is what you should not do. Like, you play rook d1, and it's absolutely no play, unless there is something like. So to me, this was more easier, but maybe in this line it's easier. It depends
No,
how
I
black is going to
actually,
approach this.
yeah. For me, just this feels better tactically. I don't know if it's correct. The computer will tell us later, because yeah, rook d1 felt very tactically good, but positionally, I really like this, and I don't understand why knight takes rook is not just good here.
Yeah, knight winning to b8, bishop c6, and probably e5. Still, there's some work needs to be done from black. I mean, it's winning, but still, you need to develop your guys.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think Jordan is probably okay with this position, even though it's objectively, not great. But like I
There's a
said,
queen
Jordan
b6.
likes these complicated positions, so this does feel very on brand for him. I am betting that white wins this one though, because
Yeah, yeah. I
material
mean,
is equal. Even though there's an exchange, there's two pawns for the exchange, but black doesn't have play, and that I think is the critical factor. So I might even evaluate this as +3 for white if I had to take a guess.
okay. I would still prefer this one. Sorry for that,
Yeah,
but that feels
yeah,
like black is unable. But here, black have at least hope that he can at least say that I have exchange. Though the rook is completely inactive, but at least black has something to say. In rook d1, I think it was reasonable already.
right.
Practically speaking, I'm not sure about the engine lines. What the engine says, I never look at them.
Yep.
Okay, so maybe we can have a look at the game
The
between.
OK game, yeah. And it
Okay, yeah.
looks like OK is playing some active chess, and
Yeah, he found rook
so is
e4.
Yusuf.
That was great. Yeah, that was great. Maybe, I mean, he could have gone here or here. Would have loved that, but okay, rook e6. Okay, rook d1, and he didn't repeat. Wait a sec. So rook e4, rook c1, he goes back. He goes rook d1, and it's kind of a waffle draw. Like, you come rook e4, and let's draw this. We have
Yeah.
one more game, and we have chances. But Yusuf says no rook e4. I want to play a3. I want to try rook a4, which is risky, of course, and also it could be rewarding. Like, we can have some fireworks.
I actually don't like this though, because isn't a3 going to be a weaker pawn than the c pawn? Yeah, because king f3, you
Cannot
hold
be
the
attacked,
square.
right?
Well, it can. Can't we
Cannot be,
double the rooks on the b on the third rank?
but how about this weakness? You have to
Rook
defend it, right?
c1, then we'll go rook b3.
But before you attack, I think I can get in, no?
How? Because I'm going king to e2 if you try and get in.
In e2, then okay, I can just repeat like, okay, but
Well,
king b3.
then I'll go
Okay.
pawn to f3.
So we have to go f5, rook e4, keep it simple.
I'll still run my king back. If you go f5, king e2, and then rook in, then I'll go king
d3, yeah?
king d3. And now I'm winning your pawn.
Yeah. So definitely he needs to find something, because now he has approached, like, he chose the dynamic way instead of playing rook a6 or just repeating the moves. He chose the dynamic way of h3. like as they say, all rook games are drawn, but now black needs to find that move which only draws. Previously, lots of moves were drawing, but now he needs to find that the correct dynamic move which is going to draw here.
Yeah,
And it's not
I
going
mean, obviously this is not winning, but I think that A3 just shows
yeah, the white chances
no
was increased. Yeah.
understanding, no
Yeah, yeah.
understanding of the structure. Because now, yeah, I mean, objectively, the computer is probably going to say, "Oh, it's zeros. It's so easy to draw." But as a human, I actually really like OK's chances.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know. This feels like an unnecessary complication, but you know, maybe Yusuf will find a way to just show us that, you know, this is a really easy draw, and there's not
Yeah,
much to do. Yeah, but
maybe something like
even here,
this.
I think we can double up, because if we
Yeah, and
push,
you
we
need to
just
rely on
ignore
something
it.
like this.
Ignore it though, and now I double up.
Yeah, take,
And yeah, pawn takes, and
and you just go back, or maybe rook e4. Oh, sorry.
yep, no problem.
So rook e4, king d3, and if I can bring out something there, or let me just go back. Yeah, that's simple.
Now I'll take the pawn.
Yeah, and you just keep tight like this.
Yeah, and then I'll probably, do I go rook to a6 maybe,
Yes,
and then try and push
definitely.
my pawn,
And you're gonna throw this.
something like
So when you
that.
play
Yeah.
rook b3, I need to just play rook e4. That's it, right?
Maybe I go I push my a pawn maybe.
Yeah, a4, a5. That's the plan.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to push.
Then but if you push now, I go rook b3, right?
And what's the point?
What are you playing?
I thought, okay, so you want to win this pawn? Okay, maybe because this pawn is weak now. And I thought, I can take here, but now the g5 would hang with the check. And yes, but this is how, it should be drawn. I mean, objectively,
Yeah, I mean it
it's
should be, but
draw.
the play
But
is
now, I
definitely
mean,
in
of course,
white's favor.
yeah,
I
yeah,
think it should definitely be zeros. But
yeah,
it's still easier said than done. Because if I
yeah,
get any of these little tricks, you miss any one move, it's just gonna be very hard to play.
absolutely. That's why it was wiser to, do the rook e4, or as I said, I didn't, the map, better plan was, just try getting some kind of a, oops, not here. So yeah, try getting some kind of a rook d8, and you get activity immediately. Like you give the pawn and you get the activity, and this is how it's done. But
Yeah, and
instead
instead we actually see rook to d8 by Yusuf, which I really don't like. So
wait,
yeah,
when
if
rook
we go back to the position we saw,
this is really
came
bad.
back, rook
Keeping
here.
both the rooks passive, this is terrible.
Yeah, and
Even
now
now moves like rook d1 are dangerous, and you're just gone.
I mean, if I'm white, I'm probably going to stall and do something like h4 g4, just because I feel
Yeah,
like I
even
always
that,
have that
yeah.
in my back pocket.
Yeah,
Um,
this is really bad. This is
yeah,
really bad.
h4 is probably what I play here. But also rook to b3, rook b to b3, and then after rook d8, it's passive pieces, and then maybe you go h4. I don't want to double up yet because I want black to commit, and then I can decide, do I attack the b pawn or do I attack the a pawn? So h4
No,
is probably what I try
it's
here.
very bad in practical play.
Yeah,
It's very bad. This
yeah.
is
It's
the
still
worst thing
probably a
that I
draw,
can do.
but this is just farther and farther away from a draw.
No, this is not going to be draw. I think if white is playing for a win, it's going to be win, because keeping one rook passive, you can understand you can still sometimes draw, but if two rooks are passive, I have not seen anyone drawing like this
Yeah,
against at least an experienced player or title player. They are
yeah,
really good at this kind of things. Like you play rook d3, you play g4, h4, you convert, you get your king here, you move, you go rook d6, and it's not gonna work. That's maybe Stockfish can draw, but for humans, it's close to impossible.
yeah. No, I agree. When I said it's a draw, I didn't think that this is going to end in a draw. I do think that okay, we'll find a way to win this. I'm just saying if the engine shows zeros, it's a little deceptive. It might be correct, but it's not going to happen.
So on board three, Josiah goes J6 instead of knight d5.
Yeah, which I think is
Which
just as fine.
Yeah, bishop c2. He anyways goes there. But now this gives a clear target to hit. So he goes knight h5. He is choosing a different path than this because maybe he wants one extra move to defend his king in emergency cases. But usually, I just play knight e7, knight f5, and life is excellent. But he doesn't know probably the capo plans. Rook e1, knight f4. It was not needed in my opinion. Like, there's no one to defend this guy. Why do we play this?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
95, maybe it's fine, but this is also hanging, so maybe it's fine. Rook e4.
Oh wow. Okay.
All this problem occur because when you do this kind of things, which
and you don't really want to go g5 here to cement
there's
it,
a small
because
trick here. We can still go knight f5 and still get the job done. It's an ugly way to do it, but the rook is hanging, so you can still be a pawn up by doing this stupidity. Take, and if you just take the knight, and you say, fine, I'm still pawn up, no more attack. If you lose this pawn, game ends in a draw. If you can manage to keep the extra pawn, you win the game. But definitely you neutralize the pressure because you don't want queen h6 to come or g5 to be played here. So still, you can play moves like this.
Yeah, knight a5 just seems like it's offering a draw compared to before.
But still, white needs to
it might not be a draw, but it just feels like you're offering like a draw.
Yeah, you need to be very good to convert this 4 versus 3 endgame at the end.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be honest. I think the only way that you can really play this, because knight a5 just looks too weakening of your structure, is to go g5 here, which is really an ugly move.
Yeah, but when it's the only move you have to play it, you like it or you don't like it.
Yeah, and so I think g5 is the only way that you can really
but
keep
fortunately
some advantage.
There's a knight a5 as well, so I think Josie is going to take some time here deciding between the risk and reward factor. So let's see what happens.
Yeah,
he really wants to win at any cost, or he's okay with playing for 2 results with knight a5.
Yeah. So John's game is over.
I would like to check it out.
Do we want to check out Irene versus Uvi?
Yeah, sure. So we left it around here.
Black is winning now.
Yeah, wow. As I told you, this is not the way you play for a draw.
No.
He didn't play queen d2, and it allowed rook c2 and just doubling in c file. And this is how exactly you lose.
No, black has to be winning.
Still, okay, some calculation needs to be done here.
No, but you go rook b6, rook b2, right? And then what do you play? I'm just infiltrating.
That still calculate some lines here. Huh?
Yeah, but you've got so much.
h2 is hanging. Okay, so if h2 is hanging, it's gone. So yeah, h2 is hanging and it's gone. There's a queen here though. Wait, what did he plays queen h3?
Okay, sure.
Which is also
very
fine.
cute.
Yeah, this is more clear.
Cute. Yeah, so you probably go rook c2.
Oh, this kind of tactics come usually, and you just win it. Yeah. So yeah, it was nothing surprising the way Shamesh was playing. It was going to be disastrous.
Rook 1 c2 you might be, because then rook c3, queen c3 takes the rook.
So this is still different, you mean?
Yeah. I'm calculating if it actually defends. Because after there, then we'll see rook.
What if I just take here? You want to take what after rook c3?
You go rook c2, probably queen c3.
And
but then after queen c3, you win the pawn. Yeah, so it's losing.
Then we just lost, no? Just b5, b4 is coming.
Yeah. I think that's not. And if we go rook c6,
it just lost.
It's lost.
This queen f2 is coming. It's GG's.
Yeah, no, I think that's it then. Unless we're missing some miracle play, I don't see a way to defend this. So good job, Irene. I feel like she has the technique to convert this. So unfortunately, Uvi, it looks like it's going down. Hello. Who is? I can't tell by the picture.
Yeah, we have a result here. Rishabh Jain has won this.
Someone in the chat said hi to both of us, so hello to them.
So we left it around 27, 25, bishop e7. at 6, c4. Seriously? The king is burning and you're putting butcher on c5?
Yeah, I wonder, is the idea to play rook to e5 to cut off the queen?
But the queen will, of course, go to the h file. I mean, towards the king side, right?
He's saying I'm gonna queen. I don't believe you. I think
Seriously,
saying I don't believe you is yeah, and then queen f2 mate. Yeah. This is a
okay.
little bold, but at the same time, what was he supposed to play? I think he was just lost.
So Rishabh Jain moves to 3 points with this one. And okay, so in this game, which we were not probably taking, okay, let's see from the beginning.
Yeah, we haven't really looked at this one. Okay,
So again, a
this is
gambit unnecessarily, and black is better because of the gambit.
okay, so that's how he ended up winning this material here.
I mean, wait a sec. So we ended here. We saw a5, we saw a3, and now the bishop is trapped. I mean, you don't really want to take on d2, so you play a4. You queue up 2 pieces for nothing.
I'm a little surprised that this was the choice. If we go back, instead of pushing the a pawn, I would have personally gone. Yeah, this is fine, and then a3, fine. I might have looked at something like pushing the d pawn here.
Yeah, d5. I mean, that's what, right? When we saw this position, we said, okay, d5 is coming, and that's why I said white is thinking. But you know what? Why didn't care about d5?
I guess not.
That's what I said, right? d5 is coming, and that's what white is thinking. And why didn't really care about d5 coming?
No, I suppose not.
Maybe he was not happy there because the pawn is going, but
no, but you can take the knight if you don't want the pawn to die.
But that's bad, no? You don't really want to.
No, of course it's bad, but it's not like losing bad. Well, I think you just push the b pawn, and if you take, I don't see the attack yet.
Just queen c1, and I don't think it's good.
Maybe I missed queen c1.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Like even if you just play queen d2, I mean it's hard to defend. You have to play king g7 or something, and you know I will very soon have rook g3 coming in with rook already on 3rd rank. This is there.
Yeah.
Like that. I mean, I would prefer playing a4 than allowing this to happen.
Yes.
But
yeah,
d5,
maybe that's correct. Yeah, I missed this.
Yeah. So d5 bishop b2. Then what to do here?
And then just back up your bishop and sack the pawn.
a4, you meant?
No, I would think of something like bishop to e7 and just give up the pawn.
Yeah. So yeah, that's give up the pawn. Okay, makes sense. b7, but why this knight is here? Like, just play bishop g6, man, or just play even bishop c8. Just get knight to some work.
Yep.
Maybe bishop g6 and knight f5, and it's not that bad.
No, it's not.
But in the game, we saw fireworks. We saw some unnecessary sacrifice on exchanges. So now 95 is a 24. So
yeah.
White didn't even capture d5. What? Seriously? Like, what was happening if he captures? Like, it's not so big deal, right?
What are these 2000 rated players? What are? Do we know their ratings? Because maybe
Drew is 2056 and Yang is 1987.
Okay. Oh, okay. I was thinking maybe there's a huge rating gap, and one of them said I just need to attack because otherwise I'm not going to be able to get anything. But no, they're close. I was thinking like it was going to be a 1900 versus like a 2200 or something. But no, they're closely rated. So maybe it's just their style. Maybe they like the aggressive attacking stuff.
Also, bishop b2 like allows h3, which is like why? Like you why want to allow h3 for the tempo?
Yeah, I'm not so sure myself. But
it's just red flag. When the knight is clearly targeted, there's just no need to play this. This could cost a point. Like a3 is very obvious here. You go back and you give white more options to take or even play e4.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about bishop b2 myself. I don't understand why d takes e is not fine. Funny enough, I still like white's position, but I liked white's position a lot more with that extra pawn.
Absolutely.
So maybe I wouldn't have played this. I'm surprised we're seeing anything.
10 minutes to play this. So there was something he was hesitating about. Maybe he didn't like bishop d3. Yeah, that could be the big reason, because after this a2 is coming very quickly, and you will have to stop that pawn at a1. And maybe he was not happy about it, like rook e1 you
Yeah,
take,
but bishop
and
d3, you just bring your rook in. Yeah, I don't actually see why that's
maybe he was
bad.
not happy with h3. That's the reason, I guess.
Well, why is this bad? Sorry.
Because a2 is coming.
Yeah, but a2 bishop b.
Yeah, that's what happened. He was not happy with pawn coming to a2 basically, and he has to stop it on a1. So he thought, why not to do directly? Or maybe he didn't consider rook e1 seriously. He thought takes, and I cannot move my queen, the knight is not going anywhere. A3 is coming, and he doesn't like it. So when you suddenly like something, you don't look in that direction.
I guess, yeah.
He thought
No,
this
because
is me too.
yeah, bishop here. No, I mean, I'm surprised we have not seen like almost an instant e4, because e4, and it looks like black is maybe even drumming up counterplay.
Yeah, but a3 first, yeah.
Yeah, a3 first, bishop a1, then e4.
Doesn't matter.
Or
Yeah,
e4 first. I don't actually know if it matters because you're tempoing and then you go a3 next move.
both are coming with the tempo, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. And when the knight moves, now we go a3, just same position, best position.
Yeah, or also even you can just play c6 to b5, and just say that you just be worried about this a3 for whole life, and we'll see.
Yeah, that's also a good point. No,
and
it's
black
just
will just play e8, bishop g6, knight f5, and chill.
Some cryptic moves here.
All right,
but,
maybe we can just go to the top board. 95 is still a positive move, at least trying to do something. We have got Grandmaster Smith down to 5 minutes. So rook b8, he captured, queen b3. As I said, he was not happy, getting this bishop off the mark. And if you go bishop c6, I thought there was a queen b6, which he missed in his calculation, probably. And maybe he didn't like e5 or something in general, so he went queen b3, but still not threatening much. e5 is there, of course, but wait a second, e5 is not possible here. Maybe he doesn't like. Okay, maybe knight g4, I don't know. Okay, bishop e7.
Makes sense.
e5. But that's why I wanted to play e5, because once e5 comes, the bishop can just have fun. So it's important that we play. But maybe he was not happy doing this against a grandmaster. But in general, like, it doesn't matter your opponent is grandmaster or not. If you say A, you must say B, then C, and everything. But if you choose to play aggressive, you need to continue playing aggressive. Suddenly you cannot say, I'm passive now. You are down to 10 minutes. You prove the advantage. This is not how you play chess. I mean, he's trying to be optimistic, but
a little too optimistic.
But it's too much to do against a grandmaster, and now it's gone.
Yeah.
You can't castle. Now don't say me that he's gonna play here and hope to survive. That will be like knight g4 or 5.
Yeah. Queen f3, king g8. That's sad move to play.
After king g8, even bishop d5 is not winning.
Yeah, maybe.
Can you play queen b6 too? And there's a queen f5 just for fun. Like, okay, there's a queen b5 check, luckily. So there's a queen b5 check which saves the day for the moment.
Yeah, but this looks not so fun. I do suspect we'll see this.
Yeah, it is not well placed. Just move it, and life is good.
Yeah.
You can also go bishop e7 first if you don't want to allow any kind of queen of it. Those e5s there, there's the e5. And now this will work, yeah? Finally, thanks. But yeah, it should be winning. Only concern is the time. With 5 minutes, he's down to 3 minutes now. I don't know what he's thinking this much.
We saw queen f3 on the board, yeah.
Okay,
he's got 5 minutes to 27. I think
okay,
and then king g8 we're probably going to see in a matter of seconds from Jordan, because where else do you play? King e8, clearly not a move.
So king e8, what do you do basically? You just go here.
Yeah, and we see king g8.
Yeah.
And now, yeah, I wonder what do you play?
We
talked
about
bishop back to b3.
I mean, it's not going to repeat that. I don't think so. Is there any
Bishop
Instagram after
c6. Do you go bishop c6 here?
Sorry, bishop c6 you want?
Yeah, because actually, where does the knight go?
You just attack the weaknesses, basically. That's the point.
Yeah.
And it's ugly to play this. So maybe this move. And you just hope to, pray. It's just sad. But at least in this black is moving, So he goes queen c6. I doubt this.
That's wow. Yeah, that's nice. Okay. Yeah.
So what he wants, bishop a6. Oh, sorry, what happened to my screen?
No, because knight f8 is forced, and then you can just push your d pawn.
Knight. You want to play d5? Okay.
Yeah.
Then why was that force? Can I just play this?
Yeah, that's what he. No,
I prefer giving this two guys for the bishop.
No, I take your knight though.
Yeah, I'd prefer. I'll just here. You give me 10 times check, no worries. But at least I can breathe. In that.
No, okay. So you go h6. I take your knight, and then what? Sorry.
I mean, it's winning. I mean, everything is winning. But at least you want to try something. At least force grandmaster to give the bishop. If two bishops are going to remain on the board, better design.
Yeah. Yep, and this is exactly what I was saying.
You cannot go anywhere. So it's like you are down everything.
Yeah.
And this is not how you should play.
No. This is a really pretty match, though.
Now he plays at 6. It's too late.
Probably just bishop e3 or bishop e7. That all sorts, yeah.
Better late than never. Okay, bishop e7, knight g6, bishop c5. And knight e5.
Oh, yeah. Someone, the chat pointed out that h6 is met just by queen takes e6 check, which I think is correct, yeah. And this is on the board, so probably we're gonna see knight takes g. Sorry, knight g6, and then push and takes.
Yeah, I mean, it's better design. You're playing a grandmaster.
Yeah, that, or I guess you can get cute and go like king to h7 and try and finally develop.
There's one stupid line. You can play at g5, e7.
Yeah, this doesn't work. Yeah,
and d7, and you can lose in a very systematic way here.
Yeah,
and then
very pretty.
But let's see. If this happens, it would be nice. But
yeah, king h7 or knight to g6 are the only moves that don't just let a queen happen.
Yeah, maybe
but it's like, yeah, king h7 is what I'd try because
I mean it will transpose. That's an knight g6 e7, and you anyway picking at 7, so it's going to transpose. And now what do you do here? Basically, how do you defend these guys?
Pawn to e7 here.
Bishop f6. This would be nice.
Bishop f6 is really nice. I might even take with the pawn because what's the rush?
No?
Yeah, so take with the pawn because what's the rush?
I will take with the pawn.
I think take with the pawn because what's the rush?
No rush, of course, but still, the bishop is hanging.
It's hard to say it's hanging when it's trapping the queen.
I'll try to get this done.
Okay, so then I'll go queen to e. Queen to e4.
That's what I want. I want to hope for some perpetual.
I'm going queen e4 though, right?
Okay. And king h8 loses with queen g6.
Yep.
I don't have rook e7. It's sad. Can I play c6? Bishop c6 is also another sad. Yeah, there's no king b5 check. So the placement of the pieces are not so correct. Not a grandmaster level player would call it. But still gets the job done. Yeah. Coming to 2 minutes is not professional way.
No, I think he's just trying to confirm because Jordan is I think 2250, right? So he's strong.
Yeah, but still coming 2 minutes is not a good idea. But okay, if it gives you win, it gives you win. That's it. It's good to double check, triple check at times, but not really this much, because your opponent is not threatening anything.
Yeah,
it's just different. So just play bishop e3 if you're not sure about e7, and it's fine. But if you burn everything, and just one last tactic comes something on last minute and it works out, you are busted. You don't have time to react.
Yeah.
So bishop e3, king at 7. You can also do h4, h5, to be very honest.
I don't
but the
know.
pawn is hanging here. So yeah,
I mean,
that's it.
technically it's hanging, yes, but that's why you go e7.
So he went bishop
Also,
b3.
bishop b3
Wait a
also
sec, he
works.
did not capture this because he was afraid of what?
Bishop e3.
I don't understand like this, honestly speaking. Like even for queen d5, I can go here, yeah, and I have rook e8 coming next.
I don't know.
He
I
had a
actually,
chance. He didn't take it.
I don't know if takes.
I mean, look, anyway, you're lost as
Actually,
a
why?
black.
Yeah,
You
why?
have to take the chance.
Why doesn't that work?
I mean, I know it's losing just, if you play bishop d4 and stuff, but you have to take that chance. This is your last chance against a grandmaster. You allow him to play f4, then again you are
No,
busted.
yeah, f4 looks a little dire. F4 probably you go knight e7 and pray, but praying is all you can really do.
Yeah, as I said, 2 minutes. It's
Well,
not
actually,
bad,
wait. How are they breaking through? And then I go g6.
Oh, we have bishop c5, no?
And then I bring my knight in to my outpost. No,
Yeah,
because I went g6, so now I go knight f5.
okay, you want to knight is on 24 g6 and you want to go knight f5. But
Yeah.
c4 was there, no? But okay, he's controlling all these things, but it's not king's job to stop all this in middle game. He could have simply put bishop here and better geometry.
In this game, I still like my plan. So maybe I go h5, so there's no way to kick me out, and then I'll go knight to e7, and then or just knight.
And now
e7
this
right
is
away.
gonna come, and this is for real. Now you're gonna pay for blanking it very soon.
Yeah, I mean, white is probably still winning, but this is getting harder.
Yeah, this is not professional way.
No, and who knows? Maybe he just understands this better than we do. But yeah, I would not have played it this way either. But then again, he's down to about a minute, so I think he's maybe just playing some moves he finds more practical.
Now he's trying to be like a professional, getting the bishop back, but Indians are gonna hit this.
Bishop b4, but then you go queen b4 and you're trying to get in, and it's like it's getting sketchy. I'm not.
No, you just have a3 for queen before, so it's not a big deal. But as I said, yeah, it's not professional. I mean, now he's trying to be professional. Now he reminded himself that he's a grandmaster and he should not do all this.
Yeah.
And now he wants
maybe queen
b5,
I guess.
proper attack. The position is back to his business. But he could have, if he could done, there, we would have not witnessed this position.
Yeah, and I mean, he is facing a master, but he's not facing like a grandmaster, so he should probably be.
Yeah, I mean, he'll manage to win this. No, I'm not a doubt about that. But
no, he's got a little bit too much material for this.
Yeah. Okay, so
he's still definitely doing well.
Try c5 or c6. He has to
c6
try
seems
something weird.
more principled, but yeah.
Just try
c5 looks like it just doesn't quite work because then I can take it with my bishop at the very least. But
and yeah, you just try to pin things. You just try, I mean, look, you're lost from like an hour or two. You just have to, and you are gambling the whole game as a black. So you just need to continue that because white is down to 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's up to you now. You want to do a small gamble or big gamble, but you have to gamble because positionally it's always loss.
Yeah. Yeah. No, there is not a ton to do.
Maybe he'll play this. I don't know. Maybe c6.
Queen
maybe
6.
A check because some people are happy giving checks.
A check, yeah, might be mate. No, yeah, c6 is probably.
You have some chances certainly.
Chances is a generous word, yeah. No, c6 seems maybe.
Yeah, that's more logical.
Yeah, exactly.
You prevent a fight, prevent everything, and you just basically ask Grandmaster to show the new plan, which you could do easily, but maybe like this. But still, some work needs to be done. And as a white, you don't know whether they're going to play c6, they're going to play c5, they're going to play check.
Check.
As I told you,
over.
Some people like just giving checks because they think, it's been long time, they are not doing anything, so they give check for nothing.
Do you go? Excuse me.
Yeah.
C6 now, or if you want to get
Yeah,
cute, you can go G6 and hope for some perpetual tricks.
I don't want to. G6 is okay. At least you're
No,
trying to do something.
it's all us. I'm just trying to think of
Knight
anything that we
d5
can
is
actually do.
also very fine. Can I go knight d5? The only problem with this mod is I don't like because you can take and go e7, and then there's a queen into c7. And even if I manage to get exchange queens, the endgame is lost. So I don't like it. But
Yes.
Smith will not like taking with the bishop. So
No.
maybe it could be a good gamble to try with 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And just try to get the king in somehow, or you just hope that you play rook d5 suddenly, and white doesn't know to capture this, push e7. There are perpetual or not, and it's a good gamble which you could try with knight d5 here. Because if it will
that's
time to white, he's gonna win, of course.
bold gamble. Bold gamble. But the problem is after you bring your knight in. Yeah, maybe bringing your knight in is the most practical. And Jordan will think about this for a while here. Just try and milk everything you can out of the
Yeah,
position.
basically, if you do this, you end up doing this as well.
Do we want to look at the next game, the OK game? It looks like OK's kind of messed this one up.
Convert that, right?
Yeah. Now it looks like a draw.
And why is that?
He's traded the rooks, which I'm a little surprised by.
But yeah, you can always trade one rook, no? Because this is like a long-term weakness, and we just try to expand these guys and create one passer, and then the rook has to go deal there, and then we win a pawn. And
yeah, I don't know if you're winning a pawn though, are you?
You will end up
geometrically.
but the resulting endgame will be drawn as per the engines. But the thing is,
but even non-engine, because how do you get in? I'm literally going to go.
You don't need to get in. Just like in which you get rook d1 and push pawns. You have got one extra pawn, right? So end up creating my extra pawn. Creating a last pawn.
I'll go f6 and then just go rook a8, rook.
Yeah, but your rook is still tied down, right?
Rook a8, rook a7, rook a8, rook a7, rook a8, rook a7.
A pawn and create a passer or something. I would love to do from this side, but yeah, I'll make you push more pawns, and then I'll create a pass pawn, and then your rook has to go attack it, and I'll put my rook behind that. I'll push it, then I'll grab the a3 pawn, and then I'll get my king in. But you know what? If white needs to win this, he needs to play fast. With 30 minutes to 7 minutes, it's not going to be win for white. White needs to put pressure on time.
Yeah, I feel like this is
95 or c6. What do you think?
I
enjoy.
Yeah. With Jordan, I think that Jordan is lost no matter what. So I think that this plan is maybe the best plan. Just hope that he doesn't see how to convert with his 2 minutes left.
He needs to gamble with 95. C6 is not the time, you know.
No, I mean nothing's in time, right? he lost his time 20 moves ago.
Yeah. He came a long way. Wait a sec. So he got f5 even after doing all this. So after rook e4, what happened here on Timo's
G5,
G5 was
elimination.
Yeah.
H4
so
and F5.
We are going to have some fireworks. Nice to see that. It's also going to be interesting by the ecosystem.
What is? Yeah, white is definitely worse, but white is not as worse as I think he was before. Is white even worse actually?
I don't know. I'm still optimistic for white. There are practical chances. But again, it's all about when the game goes in time scramble, it's all about who calculates better in time pressure. It's not about it's +1 or -1 for either of the sides. It's all about who's gonna calculate.
Yeah.
So I would say 50-50 because they think are the same, roughly.
I don't actually see a move for black here. I think black is stuck.
That's why he's not moving, because he has pushed a lot, and now he needs to decide. He needs to commit. He goes G4, and white is okay, knight E1 for the moment. Let's see what happens
No,
next.
good move. Yeah, defend the pawn from the long range
And then
bishop.
someday he'll go here, and then suddenly black will be in like, okay, no, I don't know what to do now. He'll panic and blunder.
Yeah, you probably go.
Wait, we have a draw.
Rook
Wow.
F6. Yeah.
So
I thought this would be one.
National okay was okay with draw. He just oh, come on, he's not trying to win this. If you don't try to win, you need to get the king, push those pawns, man. This is how Magnus grinds this kind of endgames.
Yeah.
But maybe he was not low on. He was low on time, and maybe he was okay with someone who's around 2200 to make a draw.
Yeah. No, I think draw is probably a fair result. I was thinking OK was gonna try and convert that, and I honestly liked OK's chances, but OK was maybe he was just tired. He wanted to take a break. It's a long game, right?
Yeah, but it's a morning round. You need to, and you're playing with white and still well player. For example, now you make a draw, and imagine, I mean, of course, Grandmaster Smith Brand is going to win there, and you get black against him in the last round. That's not a good pairing. Even, I mean, if irrespective of the colors, you play a Grandmaster, and then you have to beat him to be a champion or something, or to be at the podium. And even after draws, we don't know what will happen in tie breaks and who is gonna place where. So I think you should have tried here because it's the first game of the day, and then whatever happens in last round happens there. But going into last round is just putting so much pressure on him. If he plays whoever wins on top board, it's going to be Smith, but still. So he tries C5, but after playing Queen B5 check, which makes less sense to me, but okay. B3, and now what we do? Ah, come on! This is not how you play against Grandmaster, my friend.
No. But he's looking for any play whatsoever, and he's banking on his opponent missing something, and that's really all you can do in these types of positions. Because if his opponent lets him push that pawn, that's very scary. Now, if his opponent lets him push that pawn, he might have to question his life choices for the next few days. But
even Queen C4 loses.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, as I said, he's back to the GM level play, and now he's just gonna play simple chess and beat him. He's not gonna try to checkmate anymore, and he's doing that.
Yeah,
correct thing here is just get the king and hope to survive. But we might end up seeing Jordan moving his queen and giving an easy point to Smith, because then F5 is coming, and I don't see he's gonna play this because Bishop C5 is also coming. B4 is there, so the next move is very important. For engine, everything is lost.
Yeah, I don't know how important it really is. Queen A5 maybe if you want to keep the queens, but
maybe you can play queen before. I mean, it's just lost. Whatever you do, but, you can try your luck in this endgame.
I'm not a gambling man, and I would not take that gamble for
the way black has to gamble. There's just no option.
Queen A5 I think is just save the tempo and then see if you can find something.
Yeah, but then what you do after A4? Yeah, he takes it again.
Yeah, and B takes. We're gonna see instantly.
We have Rook B8, but for doing Rook B8, we need King on E8.
Yeah. Interesting that we don't already see takes back. Sorry, Brian is.
This is also one
really thinking about this one.
Like you play F5, you just take it like King G8, F5, and you can hope to survive with Knight F5, Bishop F5, and we have got this move. Oh, sorry. But okay, sadly there's a E7 coming in time, so it's not gonna work. That's why as I said, like we need King on E8. Without King on E8, you cannot think about doing anything here. Maybe you can play G6 after captures, and it's not that bad. Like it's losing, but still, White needs to find something. Now, what he's thinking on here? Okay, so G2
he played it instantly. The DGT board was just thinking. I was about to say, I think we've got a DGT error. But
I try next. That's what GM's supposed to do. But now, there's a threat of Knight C6 before coming in. So when you play H4, you need to be careful about Knight C6.
The big problem with the way he's played it is now Brian gets to play blitz.
Yeah, but still, okay, come on, you can never play H5. This is very, very bad. He's hoping that you'll get this. But that is too lame
Yeah,
to hope for against G.
Well, no, because if he takes, I think he wants knight f5.
Yeah, that's too lame to expect against a grandmaster. I mean, this is not how you play chess against GM. You need to play knight c6. You need to calculate better than him if you want to beat him. This was the way you continue this game. This was too lame. I mean, this is amateur trap.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think he's saying he's in blitz mode. Maybe he'll miss something. But yeah, I mean, f5 is a very professional move. Now you got to take. And
even h3, I mean, man, you anyway lose because you cannot do anything. You cannot push this pawns. You have to just wait here and activate your pieces. If you don't get, something, you have to hope. Okay, again, the bad luck is after takes is the bishop d4.
Yeah.
So, but sometimes luck could be in your favor, and you need to do something like this. But h5 was basically okay. Maybe resignable only now. It's resignable. Yeah, this is unstoppable.
I think it's been resignable for several moves. But I think Jordan will keep playing because not a lot of grandmasters visit the club, so why not?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, of course. But I can see just winning. Like, it's not about getting the knight. It's about bishop at this check, f7, f8, GG's.
Yeah. And yeah, he may take a page out of my book. I play out every single game to mate unless I'm like.
Even this is nice. You play this, king f6, and you have got this. You even no need to play. Okay, maybe you need to play g5 because king f4 is g5. So maybe you have to play g5 and get the job done. But even even if he doesn't do that, like let's say he goes, okay, he already played f6 check, fine.
Yeah, this is a little too easy. Bishop c6, I think, and it's just over.
Yeah, takes f7 is also running. Or you can also start with f7 check.
Yeah, I don't think the order matters.
You got 6 and you primo everything, and GG's.
Yeah.
So, okay, this game is over. So let's go to the third board, maybe.
Yep.
Which is interesting, quite interesting. So we saw g4, 91, 97, and finally found the Carpo idea. And
yeah, but I think you just bring your knight to the center, yeah.
Sorry?
Yeah, just bring your knight to the center, and I actually don't see how black is any better.
And rook g3 is there, knight g4 is coming. Wait a sec, why do you sacrifice exchange here?
What? Yeah, that's suspicious.
It's possible. Like, I can see that he wants h6, and it's possible. But the point is, if you can just win a full piece, why you want to sacrifice an exchange for it? And if you want to sacrifice the exchange, there are better ways to do it. You can do like this. You can do like this, and you can also play c4 here as well. But why to let him capture like this? But okay.
I wonder if his point is takes with the queen.
Yeah. I got him, and as I said, like, if he wants to win again, he could have played it faster. With 2 minutes again, he's not Smith Bryan. If he was a grandmaster, maybe still, he could get the job done. But again, it's 50-50, anything happening.
I think that Tim wins this one just because of how open Josiah is here. Just Tim is really good at attacking, even well in time trouble, and Josiah is primed to be attacked. So it's just I am really liking Tim's chances.
So we have a result. The game has officially ended after f7. Okay, so still I think it's well played by Tim. He at least gave a tough fight. Smith brought him to seconds and forced him to exchange queens and not got checkmated there. Otherwise, it was just lost. So he fought well, and Smith finally back to his GM level play. So both the players playing to their strengths in the end. Here it was interesting. So now let's go to the board 3 because the winner will go to 3.5. And probably National Master OK's color is not matching with Smith Brand because both of them were white. So if Black wins here, he's gonna play Smith Brand. Or we can also have Lomer playing him because he was black and he's already on 3.5. So
that's true.
So still I think National Master OK is safe. as long as he's not playing Smith.
Yeah, he may be eligible to get maybe second place then.
I mean, yeah, still he needs to beat someone around 2100 in the last round, but okay, so he went back to f6. This is
This looks like a blunder.
surprising. This is most surprising. He wants to maybe just hang around like this.
This might be. Wait, can I?
What I can say is this is not how you hang around in chess.
This looks like a blunder. I'm trying to calculate. I mean, rook a3, I guess, if you really want to grab the pawn.
Rook where? A3?
Yeah.
I mean, how I just don't like black's position. Anything, you just need to play fast, like, just don't come
I would probably go rook e3, grab the a pawn, and then just
knight h5. Only thing I worry about g3, queen c6, d5 takes. Probably the easiest way is just take back, and he can never take back because we have bishop b3. So GG's.
What I was thinking was rook a3, knight h5, and then maybe you go knight d3 in that position.
They don't like this?
No, because this creates so many holes.
Yeah, but
knight
we have
d3.
d5. Knight where?
Yeah, knight d3.
Here or after?
No, the other knight.
So after, you want to play knight d3 here?
So I would go rook to a3. Yeah, if you can put it on the board, we'll go rook a3.
Okay, rook a3.
Knight h5.
Okay, like this,
and then knight d3. Yeah.
But still take, and I can just put my queen on g7. I mean, defend the pawn, and maybe it's the safest way, but I would like to take the chance, like like this, and just go g3 because I don't see any problem. This check, we have this, and this is not coming first of all, so I don't see any problem. Even if it comes, we have got d5, and the king is just gone on the diagonal. The f6 is hanging, the knight is hanging, the h7 is hanging.
Yeah.
And knight on h3 is also, I don't know what the knight is doing there.
No,
like,
I don't need it.
2 knights here, like, but maybe it allows f4. So 3 what? 2 move. Timothy,
no,
move.
the DGT board has some delay, so we're probably gonna see a move come.
Okay.
And then once the move comes, it'll update the time. That's happened before.
Yes. So he goes for it, g3, knight f3 check, king h2. But he went g3 directly. He did not move to a3, which was more wiser, I believe.
Yeah, I think
because
so.
Then
as
you
well.
force knight h5. Now that is not an h5, which means you are allowing f4. You have to calculate knight e4. You are just inviting more trouble.
Yeah, I think Tim is just in panic mode.
And this is also in the air. And now you can easily blunder rook d8, rook a3, queen e5 as well.
Yeah, the way this has gone, now black, I feel like, is a little bit more in the driver's seat.
Or is he want to play d5 and some bishop f5 business?
In this position, I might just go f4 right away and get the knight out.
It's black's move, right? So f4 is coming. Yeah. So it's not good.
f4 seems
g3 was totally wrong timing.
Yeah.
Or there was a better way to do it. You could have just played rook a3 as you said. And after knight h5, g3 is possible. But if you don't want to play g3, you can first play king h2. And you can do a g3 later as well. So they just need to rush, create holes for any problems. And even we are threatening this, apart from all the things we want to do on the king side. We are also threatening rook a7, which is a real threat. But instead, we saw g3 directly, knight h3 check, and now f4, and what do
f4
you do?
Just seems like
you have to capture this, right? Otherwise, black will capture. And just transfer the rook to g3, I mean, and pray that you have something. Maybe knight h5, I don't know which move, because queen d3 is also very, very strong.
Well, I don't think you're taking. I think you're going knight h5, yeah.
Yeah, knight h5, of course. And now, as I said, you have to pray that this move works.
And then knight takes rook.
Yeah, and you have a more solid structure. You are playing queen d3 next.
That's an argument. Sure.
Right?
Yeah, I guess that's an argument you can try.
Yeah, I mean, you have to play h5 or something by bishop j6, and I don't see a way to save all these people.
No, I think you don't go there. You go queen g7.
It was still bishop g6 and this, no? How do you prevent that? How do you want bishop d? Bishop g6? I don't see, like, I didn't see anything, so I said, this is how you do it, yeah.
Bishop g6, I might go rook to, no, maybe not.
You cannot move the rook, rook s7 is coming. Usually this is how the things are done, but
Yeah, okay, maybe, yeah. Instead, we see, we actually see queen
g7.
g7 right away. But doesn't this allow
More
like
prophylactic, I
f4?
like this.
I think f4 and black is holding now.
Yeah, now we have a rook as well, so life is much better.
Now I actually really like white now.
Yeah. But again, white needs to play fast.
f4
Like,
is f4 is so easy to play too. Well, wait, okay. f4. If en passant giving up the knight, queen can't come in. Yeah, so never mind. No, it's an easy move to play.
yeah, but there are some threats like this, and you take
No, but
the
now I take a
f4 is
knight.
coming. You got knight.
No, but your
Capture
knight is
is a
holding that square. Your knight holds that
sorry.
square though, right? So you can't bring your knight in.
What do you mean? Which
No,
square?
no. So in this line, sure, play whatever you played here. And bishop takes knight, pawn takes.
Yeah, so that's what. This is how you do this, right? You just want to try this. Force queen f2, go to d8, and everything is hanging. Okay, knight c2 comes in time, so maybe it's fine, but
Yeah.
you need to do this. Otherwise, if you don't do anything, okay, now we plan to play rook h3. So it could be anyone's game. The way they're playing,
Yeah.
it could be anyone's game.
I feel like they're sort of missing the way to break through here. That's not to say it's easy, and to be fair,
Yeah,
f4 might not be working. It's just it was the move that was really jumping out to me.
maybe we'll end up seeing a5 here.
a5 also seems like it's missing, because then your b pawn is way weaker than your a pawn ever was.
This play 94 to be very, very.
Yeah, I think that's a good move. And then after bishop takes, or actually there might be an argument for f takes.
Yeah, for sure.
But I would probably do bishop takes just since I'm low on time.
But why not just explain, no? How do you defend this? I don't see a way. It's just gone.
Yeah, no, maybe. Then I think you got to go like f4 or something.
That's not good, yeah.
Yeah, it looks bad.
This is just gone. This is gone. I mean, you can play knight f3 there, but I mean, this is not how you survive. You had to play f4.
We did not see captures. We saw here.
Oh, come on, f4 is allowing f4. Game over.
Yeah, f4, and this is black's game. I think this is over. He's crashing through. Crashing through. Rook takes f4. Game.
So knight f4 is one option. Knight f2 is another option.
Yeah, knight f2 is cute. Knight f2, bishop e4 though.
And I can take back, right? Even this wins. I mean, everything is winning. We just capture those pawns. Just simpler. You just double.
Yeah.
So Joshua rewarded for his bravery.
Yeah, I think maybe knight d3. No, knight d3 doesn't quite hold, does it? Because then you just go rook f6.
Probably
and, then rook f8, and then crash through.
Yes, probably we'll have Smith Bryan versus Joshua on board 1 in the final round. Why? And then we will have a bunch of other guys like National Master OK, Josh Plomer, on 3.5 points. Only 2 guys, right? Playing for the second place or third place, depending upon what happens on board 1, of course. So 1 guy on full 4 points and 3 guys on 3.5. So it could be
Do we
anyone's
want to
championship.
see the end of the UV versus Irene game? Because it looks
Maybe
like
let's stick to
Irene.
this, and once it finishes, maybe we'll go there, because I think the end is very near.
Yeah, that could be, and especially since they're low on time, we will be getting some moves.
Yeah, it was over only, like the way it was going. It was like rook c6, queen e3, and yeah, just takes. Even this was winning, I believe. Just checkmate. Okay, maybe, oh, sorry, my bad. This is rook g1. So we have to take it. And now we can take queen e2 or queen f2. Okay, he just went for the pawns.
Also, the Alan Zhu versus Vivian Yang game ended spectacularly. If we want to take a look at that one.
I mean, this one, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, nice.
Yep.
That's nice.
So
we're talking about.
So we're going back to this position after
95.
e4.
Yes, 95.
95. Yeah, we saw king over, which is a very nice move, very mature.
Mm-hmm.
And then kick the knight out. And yeah, really nice knight rotation here. Hits the bishop g6. And yeah, all this makes sense. But yeah, of course, white is still probably for choice here, so that's not a surprise. Here takes here and push. And yeah, this looks very comfortable. Rook d1, very responsible move. Takes here.
Why not something here or something? Just try to
Yeah,
exchange
queen c8 is
queens.
maybe a little bit more ambitious.
I'm not sure white is winning there, but if you blunder like this, I mean, if you give the e4 pawn for nothing, it's gone.
Yeah, and of course he misses the threat, and that's game.
Okay, good one.
Yeah,
So it seems
very cute.
well, and spot puzzle rush every day, and
Yeah.
spot those tactics easier. All right, so let's go. Let's get back to the only live game, I believe. But sorry, this one is going on or it's over?
No,
So
I think that
okay.
That one we already saw the end of, yeah. So we can go back to our
live game. I didn't. Oh, sorry.
Yep, no, the Josiah and Tim.
Yeah, which is Let's see. So we left it around here.
Wait,
So
wait a minute. Did he? I think he just blundered.
He just gave unnecessary sacrifice.
Why not go like
we will not have
after takes. I don't see how you're winning.
But try to. Okay, now what do you do?
No, now white has to be winning. Because if you take, I sack my queen.
Just king g3. No need to do anything. Just play king g3. It's anywhere winning.
Yeah, king g3 is also probably good.
Sacking queen is unnecessary, right?
Yeah, and then I forgot that the queen holds the bishop. If the queen wasn't defending the bishop, then I think it would be okay. Yeah.
All right. So he is gonna play rook e4 probably.
Yeah, rook e4, then queen g3
and disaster. So rook e4 is the
rook
only
e4,
move.
queen g3. I don't see it.
Yeah, a5 you have to play and pray. What else?
a5.
Wait, bishop e4. Come on.
Whoa. No. Terrible.
So okay, rook is not there yet. Bishop is there. So maybe he thought, if we can win this game, this is the way. But knight g4 is also
f3 though. Don't you just go f3 here though? And
yeah, f3 is also a good way to eliminate the bishop.
Hit the bishop.
And you have e6 hanging at the right moment. So knight f3, bishop f3, rook f3. You have a check.
Josiah might have actually flagged. I think Josiah flagged. Yeah, I mean, no, because it's white's move, and
no, it just it will take some time.
No, because it's already gone back and forth. The time would have updated. I think Josiah has legitimately flagged, and Tim just hasn't called it.
Seriously?
What? Yeah. Because Josiah is playing fast for
Even this happens.
Josiah.
So wait, king here, take, we go, I mean, wait a second, king h3 or queen? King h3 is the only move. Can I play
No,
queen
no,
f5?
no,
Wait a sec.
not black is probably winning. This is a topsy-turvy game.
But what if Timothy claims at the right moment? He needs to claim now. It's high time.
What?
Wait, queen f5
What is this move?
king
Yeah,
h3. He
queen
doesn't go
e5.
queen f5. It's a blunderfest, my friend.
Yeah, it's yeah.
From both sides, just blunderfest.
Yeah, I think Josiah realizes that he's lost on time and is hoping that Tim doesn't recognize because he's playing fast. Yeah, this doesn't make sense.
Guys.
Queen e5 or even f5, I think is good enough here.
Just
Sorry, f4.
End of discussion. Just straight queens win it.
Yeah, I would go there in a heartbeat.
Or just look at the clocks, even easier.
Yeah. No, if Tim turns his head and goes, "Oh, you flagged, well played," that's it. But it doesn't look like Tim is seeing that. And yeah, I think Tim's probably already played, and this may be a DGT thing, or maybe Tim has realized that Josiah is flagged, and so now they're doing.
They're just signing the score sheets.
Yeah, that could be. That's.
I just hope we don't have 0-0 for both.
No, 0-0 is not a possible result, right? Someone is going to claim something. There's no reason for a double forfeit.
I don't know about the USCF rule, but if both are 0-0 as per FIDE, it's draw.
Yeah.
Unless the clock shows who has got flag first. In some clocks, that feature is there.
Yeah, I think the ones at the club, they blink on the side that lost first. So
yeah, but it's also about the who claims first. I mean, depends, which country you're playing, what rules are applied. So
yeah.
can you tell us a bit about USCF rules for 0-0 for each?
I can look it up real quick.
Okay. Because we might not witness here 0-0 for both. It might be digiturated here, but it might be beneficial for someone watching this.
It's a USCF, it's a draw if both sides flag. Even if one side claims a win, if the other side is flagged, it's a draw.
Yeah.
Unless somebody can prove that the other person's clock fell first. Okay. So on these clocks,
so yeah,
it would be whoever
flagged first loses.
And
yeah, so some clocks have this feature that shows who got flagged first. But the smartest feature of most of the digital clocks are, they just stop, when someone gets flagged, they just don't move.
Yes.
But sometimes they keep that feature disabled, in Blitz and all these things. So it could be tricky at times. But with increment, usually things don't happen usually, at least at the top level. But someday anything is possible, So what shall we give this result of this game? Shall we give win for white or draw?
Yeah, I mean, white is winning in this position, and they won on the clock. So, yeah, this was a very topsy-turvy game. Maybe, I mean, time pressure definitely had a ton to do with that, but it's, I think, a white victory.
Okay, let's give white victory, and let's give shout out to all the results. So on board one, we had Smith Brand defeating Team Jordan in a sharp game, interesting game. On board two, we had Master OK against Yusuf Khan, ending in a draw. Board three, we had Timothy probably beating Jose.
Probably Tim won, yes.
So we'll get to check out the pairings page for the real-time updates, because for now it's DGT 0-0 for both. Board 4, it was a very nice game from John Blomer against the FIDE master Johnson Leonard. So the game of the round definitely goes to John Blomer.
Yeah, huge upset, great play.
Yeah, Grandmaster-like play. Okay, next board 5, I guess. Quite clinical by Candidate Master Irene Fee defeating Yui Shimash for playing for the draw. Good lesson,
Mhm.
I think, there. Arvind once again played a nice game overall to beat
Yeah, he's been playing
some top,
some really great chess recently. So
especially in the openings.
yes.
We had both 7th, and finishing in puzzle rush style with sacrificing a queen, a nice finish.
Hmm.
And Rishabh Jain converting nicely against Michael Perry. Nice attack, I believe, throughout the game,
Yes.
and good conversion as well.
Yeah, a lot of really fun and interesting games this round. And a
Mhm.
few of them were just master classes, one-sided, just played like a computer. So a good variety of some heart-stopping ones where the evaluation bar was swinging back and forth, and some were just great play.
Yeah.
All right, I think that is all the games. Since all the games have wrapped up, I'm not sure there's too much more to say other than yeah, great fourth round. Congratulations, like I said, to John for that big upset and that beautiful game. And I think that should be all.
All right, guys. Then see you in round 5. Bye bye for now.
Thanks for the commentary with me.
Thank you.